Hello, everyone. I'm Iffy. We are here to have a live session and a live discussion of short films. And today I have with me Mr. Sachin. There are three more guests today, but due to some reasons, they can't join us at this moment. And I have Sachin with me. First of all, Mr. Sachin, please
Mhm.
give us your brief introduction and say something about your film, please.
Yeah. This is Sachin. I'm from India, a small town Rohtak, and I have studied filmmaking from a professional film institute. And I made my film Seher as a graduation project there. And the film is about two people who meet at certain journey, and they get connected, and the journey uh, actually goes some way, and then they have their different ways. So at last they have to go at their own way. So it's about two people who come closer for a short period of time, and then they have to separate. The situations are has been shown in the film, why they have to separate from the end point.
Okay, the name of your film is Sheher,
Seher, yeah.
and yeah, how did you get the idea of this film?
Actually, I personally travel a lot, and I use Indian Railways a lot and other mediums. I do solo traveling. So it happens with me when I meet a lot of people during the journey, and we share our personal things, our thoughts, and our past journey experience with each other. And somehow we get connected to other people. Somehow we get connected, we share feelings, we come closer, and then when the journey ends at the end, sometimes it happened with me when I don't even I met few people, but I don't have any contact with them, like the whole contact get lost. So it's about that only. We don't know when the next time we'll meet after sharing
Okay,
precious moment together.
okay. Um, you are an independent filmmaker, and
Yeah.
we all know that the Indian film industry is the second biggest film industry in the world. There are tons of people who love watching films. There are tons of people who watch films regularly, who watch web shows and everything like that. Um, Tell me something about the current situation of independent filmmakers in your country.
See, once again, a country having second level of film industry in the world, there is very tough to make independent films because people like to watch Bollywood. Like 90 to 95% people loves to watch Bollywood. And also when it comes to producing the film, the producers also wants to invest in Bollywood only, like big budget films, because they see recovery in that. They want to recover the amount. But when we make independent film, there is no chance of recovery. Independent films are made to say something, to express something, and there is no chance to recover. Although in today's time, the web platform has been came, so it's easy to release independent films on web platforms, and it gives a good recovery. So the medium of independent film is growing after coming this web age. But in theaters, it's very hard to make independent film and to release it on the screen. First of all, theaters do not accept it. Second thing, people do not go to theaters. People don't want to spend like $100 to watch independent cinema on theater. So this is very challenging to make independent cinema
Okay.
here, especially in India when we have competition with Bollywood.
Um, we are making this event, or you can say this festival, to encourage independent filmmakers. We know it's really tough for an independent filmmaker to have his own funding to make his film with his own team, with his everything. He's self-reliant, you can say that. And for a guy like this who are making independent films, how is the how is the environment required, or how can you go forward if you don't have any funding? Have you ever been in this kind of problems?
Yeah, I have been. The situation is when you are making independent film, so you have to first like live the life on yourself. Uh, uh, like regarding when you have a story, basically you have a story and you want to say something, so you have to live that story at your own first, so that you will know about the basic things of the character, of the plot points, of the situations coming in the film. And when you live with that story, you know everything in very detail, like how the character will react and how the story will go and how the things will happen. Second thing is, when you are making independent film, there is a lot of budget issues, so you have to do everything at your own. So what is the basic difference, if I tell you about an independent film and a good budget film? In an independent film, the director at his own do a lot of work, like he can't hire staff to do the things, so he can't like keep the basic thing like assistant directors on his team from the start, that he has to do everything. So in the in independent film, director learns a lot. Basically filmmaking is also a learning process till the end. So in independent film, actually the director learns a lot about cinema and has to do a lot of struggle. And the second point I was discussing about this the issues we face, the budget issue. Then you have to sometimes you have to compromise with the camera quality and other things, but that really doesn't matter. If you want to tell your story, you can tell your story at any format, at any quality. What happens is, when you tell a story, when your story is engaging, then no one look at your camera quality and other things. If you are able to engage people in your story, if you are able to engage people with your characters, then no one is going to look at your camera quality and other quality. You just have to do. And the about when it comes to team members, then you need good team members, like everyone should be understanding your idea. The communication must be well. Like if you have an editor, you have your cinematographer, you have your sound designer, there should be proper synchronized sync between your team. Like everyone should understand the whole idea, what are you trying to make. Then you don't need any good quality equipments or anything like that. You just shoot a normal story, edit it, and you can make a good film.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you some personal questions. First of all, the thing is that when did you first thought of making films, or you thought that I would become a filmmaker in future? When was the first time?
Yeah, it was I guess 2013, like 7 years back, when I first like I asked my dad to buy me a camera, digital camera, DSLR. And when I got it, I started making films. Like not films, we can't say films, but I had a story and I wanted to shoot it and I want to show it to people. So I took the camera and I asked my normal friends, like, you want to work with me? You want to work with me? You want to work with me? They all came. We made a team. We shot it. I personally edited on my like desktop computer, and we released it on YouTube. And by God grace, it went well on YouTube. It performed well. We got a lot of views. People loved it. Then I got the confidence. So when you do something, when you try and you get appreciation, then you get motivation. So that motivation made me to like decide that I want to become a filmmaker.
Now you are studying in a subject which is related to filmmaking, and you are going to in future have a career in this sector. I'm
Mhm.
presuming that. And how was your family? Was your family supportive to your work or your decisions?
First of all, I have completed my course. It's been more than 1 year, and now I'm working for a few small projects and working as independent ad filmmaker here in India. The second part you said about the family. Yeah, family played very important part in my life, in my career life. What happened is I was in engineering college. I took admission in engineering college, and uh, it was my exam time when I shot my first short film, and I dropped my engineering exam, shot that film, made that, and my family was, if you want to do it, then do it, leave it. And the institution story, when I took admission in my film institute, I didn't wanted to take the admission. My father forced me to take the admission in film institute. That I he said, I don't want to let you roam around. I want you to proper do study in the filmmaking. Then you can get good knowledge about it. So my father forced me to take the admission.
You are really, really lucky, man. Your family is really supportive, super supportive. And the thing is that you are also a risk taker. You made a huge gamble, and I think that you are in the right path, doing some great work. I loved your film. Okay, now tell us something about the projects you have done before, and what was your best project?
If I talk about my projects, then they're not a long list. There are only few projects, few short films, around two or three short films, and one documentary, and few ads. Like that's commercial medium that I have to do to make my living. When I talk about my short films, then Seher gave me a lot of confidence in filmmaking, because that was a totally different kind of film, and totally a different genre which I previously made. So I explored a lot. Actually, this is a travel film, and travel film make you a lot to explore. So according to me, the Sahar is one of my favorite film. Not as a good film, as a, I learned a lot from that film, and it traveled to a lot of countries. Like this is the second time in Bangladesh. Previously, it was selected one of other festival in Bangladesh. It got a good response in Iran also. It won an award in Italy also. So the film is also traveled. So it gave me a lot of confidence. So again, confidence let you make more good cinema.
This is our fourth festival, and every year we have huge amount of submission of films from Indian people, and you guys are making great content, and it's really great. And the fact is that people are engaging in this kind of work really encourage newcomers to
Mhm.
explore in this field. Tell us something about, as an independent filmmaker, how you make the benefit out of your films if you want to make a living out of your work.
Uh, Basically, when we are making independent film, there is 0.01% chance of taking a financial benefit, but you get a lot of benefits in your experience. You get a lot of experience. You get a lot of experience not only about filmmaking, about life also. So it's a learning process. The whole life is learning process. So filmmaking is also a learning process. When you make art film, you are learning. But if we talk about financial benefit, then you will not get any financial benefit from art film. But you get a lot of commercial work to do with this, where you can earn your living. So it helps, but not directly, but indirectly it helps.
Okay, and tell us something about your favorite actor and favorite film and favorite filmmaker.
That's a very tough question. Actually, I do not directly follow any actor or film. The main thing is I like every genre, every genre. I watch every genre, and I
Okay,
try to find what's special in this genre. So uh, I can't say any I have any favorite
okay,
film or any favorite actor. So that's really a very tough question and
okay.
hard
I
to answer.
think you like to experience different things. You like to
Yeah.
learn everything. like that.
Yeah, in
um
music also, I listen to every kind of music, and I love every kind of music. I can't say like I like to listen this, I like to listen this. It's totally upon my mood. Like, but
okay,
um,
that's great, that's really great. uh, what are your future thoughts, and what would you like to do in future? Tell us something about that.
uh, currently I'm writing few stories, few fictions, and I have in my mind that I want to make that only whenever I get chance. Otherwise, it's about you always keep writing. You always keep writing and wait for the chance when you can like express your story to people. So as of now, I'm writing and waiting for the day when I can get a chance to make that film.
Okay. Now, what are you thinking about the film industry right now as an independent filmmaker? What should be changed in your country? What are the changes you want in your country? Tell us something about that.
See, there is nothing that we can change. It's all about like what we are making. If we can, the only thing we can change is we should make good films only. Like there are a lot of films when you watch them, like they are big budget films and there's everything, but when you watch it you say, what is this happening? This is not natural. Like there are science fiction, that's okay, but when you're making natural cinema, but that's not really natural. So that should be changed, that should be more naturalized, more realistic, and more engaging. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. You said that Sheher was your favorite work. Tell us something about the troubles you had to go through to make this film.
That's interesting question. I try to talk about it everywhere, and the main thing is if you see Seher, there is a taxi which makes a lot of problem. It doesn't start and all. Actually, we were shooting with the real broken taxi. It was
Okay.
really broken. It was really broken, and during the shoot, what happened is one day we were traveling for a location in the evening, and suddenly the engine got off on the way, and it was like a highway, and we were at the middle, and it got stopped in the middle of the highway, and a lot of trucks were coming from this side and this side, and suddenly we were five people in the car. Suddenly four people got out, and they started pushing it. They started pushing it so that it can start. So these kind of incidents happened during the shoot, and it was very tight schedule, like 7 days schedule, and we hardly got any time to get it repaired, because we were shooting in the day, in the night, and we have to prepare for the story. Actually, what was happening is during the shoot of this Sahar film, we had a tight schedule, and it was raining for 3 days, and it was heavily raining, trees were falling, and things like that happening. So we had to cancel our night day shoot 3 times due to rain.
Okay.
So everything was happening in hurry. So a lot of
Uh,
like these incidents happened during the shoot.
I would like to say something about your work, that you have right now a small amount of fan base in Bangladesh. I can assure you that, because there is a comment saying that they loved your work and the flavor of your work. They loved it. You can say that. Okay. Tell us, as a newcomer, if I am a newcomer, if you have something to say to me, some tips you want to give to me, say something about a newcomer, to a newcomer who is
Uh,
new in this field.
hmm. So for the newcomers, I want to say, if you want to make film, and you really want to make film, then you take a camera, shoot your story, edit it at your own, and do not think that you have to shoot, edit, and then you have to release that. First, practice it and watch a lot of cinema, different kind of cinema, learn from that, and try shooting, try editing, and try everything. When you try, you learn a lot.
Great tip for the newcomers. You are pursuing a career in this path. Is it really easy or it's really difficult? In our country, it's really difficult because we don't have huge fields in this, and likely to say that as an independent filmmaker, it's like a gamble in our country. From your country's perspective, please say what is the
For
perspective right now?
independent for independent filmmaker, it's almost same here too. But when you but sometimes you get chance, sometimes you get some good producer who want to produce your story when you have a good story. And these days people are making good films, like in very low budget, but they are making good films. They are good producers who are investing their money to make independent films. And after this digital mediums, this industry has been growing, and you get a lot of chance to make film and release on digital platforms at least. So do not stop yourself. There are a lot of opportunity. You should, if you have a good story to tell, then you should make a film.
Okay. As an independent filmmaker, what are your thoughts that how can we engage many people in this work, or how can we make other people love our work? What is the main thing, or what
uh,
is the main
yeah.
idea behind?
See, when you make independent film, the independent film actually already very engaging. Like if you are making good cinema as an independent filmmaker, then the difference between like big budget film, if you talk about Bollywood, Hollywood, and independent cinema, is independent cinema is more engaging than that. The thing is, people do not watch it. So you don't think independent cinema is not good. Independent cinema is far better. You need audience for that. So people, if people started watching that, then people can understand that what is the difference. So
Okay.
people should watch the independent cinema.
There is a question for you. The Mr. Monam asked you that do you plan to move on towards commercial film industries?
Uh, See, whenever some independent filmmaker comes, everyone wants to move to commercial film industry. But the difference is when an independent filmmakers want to move to commercial film industry, is he thinks that I will change the industry. I will change the commercial industry. I will make good films. I will make this kind of film. I will make art film in the budget of like commercial film. But it's very tough. So for me also, I think I will try, but I can't say that I will get that chance. But I always want to try commercial films, but taking the medium of artistic cinema.
In India, we can see there is a rapid growth of web series.
Hmm.
People love it. People use Netflix, Amazon Prime. There is a huge popularity. Do you think that this is a risk for the theaters? People will move away from theaters and then go on to use such kind of platforms?
Definitely, it's risk for theater people, but for the audience, I want to say film is made for theater. Film is not made for like small screen laptop and all. Film is made for theater. When you watch films in theater, you hear the sound in a surround sound, like there is 5.1 surround sound. But in your laptop, in your phone, that's stereo sound, only 2.1 or mono. So you do not get that experience in your small screen or mobile. You should go to theaters to take the best out of it. So that's totally different. Theater and web medium is totally different. But films are always made for theater. Web shows is a different thing, that made for small screen only. People are shooting in 1080 format, but in theater we shoot in 2K projection. So that totally different. You see a wider angle and wider screen. In mobile, you see you don't do not see that much of wideness, and some everything is different when you see a film in theater and in mobile. And people
Okay.
know it. People know it. That's only like in this pandemic, people are these things are getting high because people do not can't go to theaters and all.
There is another question that why independent filmmakers fail in commercial industries most of the time? What are your thoughts?
I have seen a lot of filmmakers who turned from independent filmmaking to commercial film industry. But what I found is when you get money, then everything runs on money, and you somehow you stop using your mind on that level. When you do not have money in your pocket, you use your you give 100% of your mind. But when you get money, uh, you turn off half of the portion of the mind. So this is the simplest answer I can give for that question.
Okay, you are saying that money kills minds. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
something like
actually, it
that.
happens. That's natural. That's for
Yeah, yeah.
everyone.
Mr. Nirmal is trying to join us,
Yeah.
but I think because of some network issues, he can't join us at this moment. Okay, I will continue this session with you. Um, right now in this situation, there are a couple of film festivals going on all around the world. Have you ever submitted in any other film festivals your work before?
Yeah, I've submitted.
Okay.
Seher
um
only. Yeah,
yeah, please tell us something about Seher.
yeah,
In which
only
film it?
Seher. Yeah, Seher only traveled a lot. It got screened in Pakistan, in Bangladesh before, in Iran, in Italy, in India. So Seher only traveled a lot. Like it got a
Okay,
good appreciation in all of the
do you think
countries.
these festivals are necessary for the filmmakers to encourage their work?
Because of these festivals only, I am here.
Okay, no, because there are many people who don't really appreciate our work. We are doing this to encourage the filmmakers, newcomers. Especially, this is giving a platform to the newcomers
Mm,
who want to show their work to the world. Through this platform, many people can view your work, especially the people who are in Bangladesh. Indian
mm,
people watch your films, and you can, because of your submission in different countries, people in Iran, Italy can see your works. So
yeah.
the main purpose is to encourage the filmmakers and give a very yeah, very participants in the same platform to share the same platform together. Okay, what is the main theme or the main criteria of making film for you? What is the main
Um,
criteria?
uh, when I start making a film, I do not sit and take a paper and start thinking that I want to make a film and which topic should I start to make. It never happened like this. Uh, it happens. I suddenly get some idea in my mind, like walking on the road, traveling, and all. And for me, mostly I get some idea when I'm traveling. Like I travel a lot, and when I'm on the way for something, I get a lot of idea. Sometimes when I do not have any paper or pen with me, I just take my cell phone and make a note about it. Like I got this idea, and then I forget about it. Then, if that idea is great, if that idea is really engaging for the audience, and I think I should make a film on that idea, it again hit me in my mind automatically. When it gets hit in my mind for the first time, I just write it and forget it. If the same idea got hit in my mind again after a few days, 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, then I start thinking about that idea and start developing it. So it's all about getting a natural idea while you are walking or doing something in your mind, and then you start developing the idea.
Do you want to send a message through your work to the viewers? Do you try that?
Um, Not specifically, but for the filmmakers, I want to say that filmmaking is not a very tough job when you start trying it. It takes time. You learn, you watch cinema, and nothing is impossible when you try it. So you should try if you want to make good films, and never leave it. Never.
That's a very good message. Um, um, can you say something to the viewers who are watching that why should they encourage independent filmmakers, or why should they view the work of the independent filmmakers? Say something to the viewers.
So basically, the difference in commercial cinema and independent film, if you see and you compare that, independent cinema is very natural. You can easily relate to any of the character in the film, and most of the film you start relating yourself with the character in the film. So it gives a lot. Not see there are two differences. There are differences between commercial film and uh, art film. Is when you watch commercial film, it gives a direct message to your mind. You watch a film, you get a message from theater that you don't have to do this. The commercial films are so direct that made for a lame audience. Sorry, I'm using this word, but actually it works like that. They say something and you keep it in mind, and you come out of theater smiling, and then after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or after reaching home, you forget it totally that you have seen this film, and what message did you got from that film. When you see art film, it do not gives you any kind of direct message. It hits your mind subconsciously. You will be start thinking like what he want to say, but after some time, when the same situations happen with you, or you stuck at some point, then you start relating, oh, I saw this film, and same thing happened in that film. So this is the difference. Art film put something in your mind for a long time. So that's why the art film is totally different with commercial cinema.
This is a big issue. I think probably the main issue that due to which the filmmakers who are working with great story, great cinematography, but don't get appreciated much. On the other side, commercial films are making tons and tons of money. People are loving those work, but the films which has a great message, which has a great story, don't make that much money. People get discouraged by this kind of works. I think that's the main reason people are going, filmmakers are going for commercial films. Do you agree with me?
The thing is, again, there's a term called cult cinema when you talk about cinema. So most of the independent films are actually cult films. When you watch in commercial cinema, and since the message is direct and hits you suddenly after watching the film, you keep it in your mind for few hours, few days, and then you forget. And when people are reviewing the film, like if you seen some Salman Khan film, and then you go to your friend like, I watched that film and that's very good, you should also watch it. It uh, it happens. People are very fast in reviewing a film, but you can't review a good kind of cinema so early. Like when I watch some good cinema and that impacted that left an impact on me. If someone asks me that, do you want to talk about this film we just saw, but I always says that I can't talk about this film right now. I need few hours, few days to think about it. Then I can talk about it. So when you watch independent film, they put certain impact on your mind, and you can't think about that. Like you need time to analyze everything. So uh, it's kind of cult. Like people seen an independent film, then after few months, 5 6 months, some incident happened with the person. Then he remembered that film. Then he thinks that I should watch that film again, and maybe I might get some idea about what's happening with me. Then again he watched that film, and then he reviewed that this is a good film. So this is the basic.
There's another problem nowadays. People um, take granted things like critics review,
Mhm.
and people judge things without watching them.
Yes,
Does this problem exist in India?
yes, of course.
Okay, this is a big issue. People do not watch the films themselves and try to judge them without seeing them. Um, Today we had three other guests, but no one was present due to some issues and difficulties. But I had a great time with you, and
Thank you.
gave great answers to some questions and some issues. I hope you had nice time. Uh, am going to end this session. If you have something to say to our team or to the viewers regarding this festival, you can say something.
I want to say all the best Select Film Festival and keep organizing this kind of festival every year. My best wishes are with you. And thank you so much for inviting me to this live session. We had a great session and we got some questions also, and I tried to answer them. Hope everyone is happy and happy filmmaking.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sachin. My name is Ifti, and I had with me Mr. Sachin from India. It was a great session. I will be seeing you guys later. And Mr. Sachin, hope that your work will again be submitted in our festivals in future, and you
Sure.
have a great, great, great future. Okay,
Thank you so
see you
much.
later, everyone.